when you watch this event, you're like, oh, right. Google's making all these different devices now, including their new Pixelbook, the Pixelbook Go. So that's their latest Chromebook. You probably remember the original Pixelbook, which was this fancy, flippy thing that was also a tablet with pen input and so forth, but kind of expensive as far as Chromebooks are concerned. This time around, they made a typical traditional laptop form factor, and they called it the Pixelbook Go. And along with that, they have a more aggressive, more attractive price point starting at $650. But the device, the construction of the device is all aluminum materials, kind of what people would typically associate with premium price tags. A very lightweight measurement there at 2 pounds. Is that the official reading on that? 2 pounds, Will? That's pretty incredible. It's a 1080p display. It's going to have Intel hardware inside. I think you can spec it with either an i3 or i5, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe you can verify that for me, Will. Of course, the entire Chromebook ecosystem, that's right, 8th gen Intel Core M3 i5 i7 processor. The entire Chromebook segment, is it even a segment? I guess it's a segment because various manufacturers, hardware manufacturers make Chromebooks. Been very popular in certain institutional settings and also, and also with students. Students, they love the Chromebooks. So, of course, what this allows for is thin and light laptops, hopefully with great battery life, running these trim and slim operating systems that allow students to have the bare minimum Chrome browser, which essentially is for productivity, for homework, for your regular daily tasks, is kind of just what you need. And not too much extra.
Right.
And so, I mean, I remember Chromebooks are getting old now. Like, they're getting older in terms of life cycle. I remember when it first launched, the commercials on TV, it was like everything's in the cloud. Your stuff is always secure. It's immediately on when you crack the lid open. This is the newest iteration. And what's interesting to me is that Google stepped away from the flippy, pen-based, kind of what Apple is pitching with the latest iPad, that the future of computing is not a clamshell, typical laptop format. Another example of that would be Microsoft with all those Surface products that are these different kinds of form factors when compared to the typical laptop. But I've spoken to you, Will. You've spoken to me around this office. Everybody's got a laptop and a smartphone. And for the most part, 95% of our activities take place on one of those two devices. Right. And these things, the tablets, you're reaching for them less. So it's some sort of combination of laptops having gotten thinner, lighter, with better battery life, and phones getting bigger and kind of doing a better job of consumption. You're watching some video on there, dealing with the consumption needs that you might use a tablet for. So it's harder to reach for these things. It's up in the air. Each individual is going to have their own impression on that. But anecdotally, around the office, myself included, and maybe Google is also buying into that same concept. People are going to have a laptop, they're going to have a phone, give them a traditional, well-built, thin and light situation. Maybe that's where they're at with the Go version of the Pixelbook. The keyboard, also kind of interesting. Same with those speaker grills. They said it's going to be a quiet keyboard, which is kind of an odd thing to advertise.
A hush keyboard?
Yeah, a hush keyboard. Is that a shot at Apple and their chiclet-style keyboard, which is, I mean, we all know it's a little on the loud side. You can give it a couple clickety-clacks there, Willie do. Yeah, he's clacking away.
It's pretty loud.
So maybe that's a shot there. This one could be a little quieter. You bother fewer people. Also, if you look at the keyboard, you see the speaker grills in a predominant location there, right on top. So hopefully they've invested in the audio performance as well. But it is a Chromebook. It's running Chrome OS. You kind of know if you're in the marketplace for something like that. I'm always surprised at how much I'm doing in Chrome. my whole Chrome is almost my operating system, even when I'm on Mac or PC.
Right.
There's so few things I jump out of Chrome to do when I really think about it. So maybe I'm ready for a Chromebook experiment when this one jumps out. It could be. There's 2 colors that it comes in. It comes in what they're calling not pink, which is like this almost pink color. And then it also comes in the black color, which I'm going to be more interested in myself. There's a couple of specifications. I believe you could take the thing up to, well, over $1,000 if I'm not mistaken. You could take it up to...
Well, these are Canadian prices.
well, you could take it to around $1,400, or you can start at $650 depending on the specification. You're just going to get more storage. You jump all the way up to a 4K display as well and a Core i7 chip. It's also a touch screen if you do want to reach up and touch it. But I really feel like the emphasis with that product moves away from touch because they don't let you flip the screen all the way around. They're saying it's a laptop. Enjoy your laptop. It's a thin and light laptop. Carry it with you because they put the grips on the bottom, as you saw. So I think it's an interesting play. I think it may be some sort of indication with Google backing off of tablets and leaning into Chromebooks that they may share my interpretation of the futuristic life as it is today in 2019 and maybe 2020, which is still, you got a laptop, you got a smartphone. Let's just live with it. Let's not try to reinvent it. Apple obviously disagrees. Microsoft disagrees. We'll see how that pans out. I should ask you guys, the audience, what's your optimal setup? How do you live your life? Is it a laptop and a smartphone? Are you getting it all done on an iPad or other Surface product that wouldn't fit into either of these categories? I'm curious. Let me know.